I've come to just outside Edinburgh in Scotland on what is probably the hottest day in Scottish history to meet a chap called Alan who bought this car brand new in the 80s and he's still got it and he's hardly ever used it. In fact, it hasn't been out the garage in about 25 years. It's supposed to be as immaculate as it was on the day that he purchased it. Now, the car in question has actually been revamped by the manufacturer recently under quite divisive circumstances. It was known as the car you always promise yourself. All right, spoiler alert. It's a Ford Capri. It's not only that, it's one of the very last Capris sold, we think. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what could be one of the ultimate time capsule vehicles. I'm Jonny Smith. This is, of course, a barnfind episode of the Late Break Show, but way too hot for the BFF, the barnfind fleece. And this is proudly supported by Nielsen Car Cleaning Products. So before we talk about this in the garage here, Alan, I want to talk a bit about your car life.
Okay.
Till now.
Always been a Ford man from when I stayed along the road at my mum's. I was working abroad at the time when this particular car came up for sale. I came home one weekend from Holland and it was in the Sunday newspaper. There was 3 of them in the same dealership.
Yeah.
I jumped in my car at that time. I can't remember what it was, but I went straight to the dealer in Livingston.
Yeah.
And bought that one because that's the colour I wanted.
Right.
Moving on from there, I went back to Holland on the Monday and one of the guys in the office wanted one of the other ones, which was a different colour.
Okay.
So I phoned the garage and put a deposit on that one as well. So.
And that year was?
That was 86.
86.
Yeah.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that you've had this since new. I just can't believe it. It's
86.
amazing.
Yeah.
I bet you didn't think that you'd have had it best part of 40 years.
No, that wasn't the plan.
No.
I mean, the plan was to use it more, but circumstances just didn't let me do it.
Yeah.
Which is fine now, as long as it all goes okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, brilliant.
Well, we're going to move some pots because Alan's a keen gardener. So we're going to move some of these pots out the way and we'll see if we can catch a glimpse.
It's just a hobby.
Yeah. That's a great hobby. It's a great hobby.
Somebody's managed to start the wheelbarrow.
It's got a dodgy wheel bearing though.
It was my dad's.
Oh, was it?
Yep. And it lasts a lot longer than the new ones.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I bought a ball barrow quite recently.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realise they still made them, but they do.
Yeah.
I think it's the only good thing that Dyson's ever made.
Probably.
I'm willing to say that on camera. They make the worst hand dryers in the world. So I've never seen this. I saw one little picture of you stood next to it a long time ago. 20 something, perhaps 30 something years ago.
Yep.
Oh.
There it is, the beast.
Bloody hell, Alan, it looks really straight.
It is straight. It's not been out. I don't think it's been started for at least 25 years.
Really?
It's been pushed in and out a couple of times because I had stuff to do in the garage, but it's pretty good.
The thing about Capris is they stopped making them in 86 in the UK, I'm sure. So this is one of the last cars, save for the run-out edition, the 280 Brooklands.
Sure.
Which in period was actually a really difficult to sell car because I think everyone thought the Capri was...
I didn't want to pay the extra for what I was getting.
Yeah.
I much rather have one that was, I don't know, more natural.
Yeah.
I mean, the only difference was on the Brooklands was the bigger wheels, which I have put on this.
Okay.
And it was British Racing Green.
Yeah.
And the seats were different.
Yeah.
But
it's amazing.
More than happy.
I'm excited. I've done a barnfind Capri before on a Mark 1. Mm-hmm. Never got it running. We'll gloss over that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a V6. Mm-hmm. To a lot of people, the Mark 3s are sort of like the favourite Capri.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how good condition it is. I want to delve in and see more.
Definitely.
You said you kind of work or have worked in the motor industry?
I did contract worked for Nissan for nearly 35 years.
Okay. And what did you do? What did you do sort of with
I've
this?
done lots, done component. I did a lot on seats for quite a long time, safety systems.
Yeah.
I worked in the studio, the design styling studio in Paddington for 7.5 years.
Oh, really?
Did a lot of benchmarking stuff when new cars were coming out. And I've seen cars come from sketch through clay to production line.
So, did you ever think, oh, I don't use it, I should get rid of that bloody Capri?
No, it needs to, it's got a few missions that it needs to do.
Yeah.
It needs to go to Le Mans.
Oh, has it never been?
Nope.
But you have many times.
Yes, I've been at Le Mans 30, I think it's 37 times.
37 times?
We missed a couple because of COVID, but we just rented a big house and
Yeah.
big screen, barbecue, beer outside. Same atmosphere.
So you've always been, you and your mates have always done a Le Mans thing, but
Yeah.
this has never done it.
No.
Got to do Le Mans in it.
Yeah.
Go on then. I didn't ask before, and I probably should have done. How many miles has this car done?
I think it's 12,000-ish, but I need to check.
12.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it was that low. Bloody hell, 12,000.
I don't know what's on
Now that's
here.
good, we might need that today.
Yeah, you can.
Garage mat.
Yep.
Go on then, show us inside the boot.
Okie doke.
I'm looking at the panel gaps and I'm looking at the paint.
It's all pretty sweet.
Blimmin' heck, Alan. Oh, bit sticky. I mean, just look at the condition of the tailgate for a start.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's pretty clean.
Pretty clean. It's a bloody time warp.
Non-standard speakers. Sorry about that. That's my wiring.
So
bad.
was
Take my hat off because I'm in the shade.
yeah. Was this you in 1987?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
So you did have a cover for it,
That's it there.
but it's not on it.
No. I took it off one day and thought, I don't need to put that back on.
And then the dust came.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So that's one of the smaller rims. An inch difference between that one and the Brooklands was an inch bigger.
Yeah. 50.
But yeah, 008s. A008 Yokohamas.
Yeah. Can I have a look inside?
Of course you can. Might be a bit stiff.
A little, but not too much.
Good.
Blimmin' heck. Blimmin' heck, Alan. It's absolutely...
That on the floor will be the last tax disc.
And that is the original tax disc holder from the dealer in Livingston. Well, that's 1993.
So that's probably the
Well,
last time it was on the road.
31 years ago.
So it's more. I guessed at 25, but yeah.
Bloody hell. So yeah, Peoples of Livingston, same as the dealer, the original dealer plates here. So you've got the different steering wheel on it.
Yeah, it's an RS steering wheel, but I've got the original.
And did you buy that from Ford?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
And did you buy these wheels from Ford?
No, a place down south, I can't remember the name. Ford didn't have any in stock,
Yeah.
so I got them through another.
It's a bit tight in here. So and I know you've got a garage with like a 40-degree slope.
Yeah.
So I think what we'll do, and the tyres are all inflated, which is takes a job away from me.
Sure.
I think we'll roll it back to before the drive flies away from us.
Sure.
We can have a better look at the engine bay and things. When I used to work in TV, producers would always say, we need a bit of jeopardy. People love jeopardy. Well, there's some real jeopardy here, unfortunately. Alan had completely forgotten that his car, when it was new, he'd had it fitted with a aftermarket alarm and immobiliser system. And we've opened it up because I said, well, the battery's going to be ruined in it. We've taken the battery out and we can't find anywhere where you can get a battery from. So he's frantically driven off in his MX-5 and he's running around Edinburgh trying to find this niche battery, because this might immobilise the ignition and or the fuel system, which could scupper us from starting this unbelievable unmolested Capri. But while he's doing that, I'm going to try and get on with some other jobs because of this unforeseen issue. But what I can tell you is the engine bay is just unbelievable. Come and have a look, it's like new. So being the 2.8 injection, this was top spec Capridom, and this is one of the last of the line cars except for the 280 Brooklands. I can't believe the condition of this thing. You can see that Alan took out the radiator, drained all the water, took out the expansion tank, they're all down there, and he also removed the air filter element. And I think I know why. He's had a bit of a problem with squirrels. He thinks they're squirrels. And they've chomped all of this sort of like neoprene foamy stuff on the inner wing. And then they've left them shells and things around the back there, which at first my heart sank. I thought, oh no. But the closer I look, all of the fuel lines and the cables and wires, the connectors, look like they have totally escaped being gnawed at. Hallelujah. Remember, this is a last of the line car, so it has electronic fuel ignition, electronic ignition system. That's that module there, Duraspark, and then obviously there's the ignition system there that he's kind of removed from the airbox. So what we've got to do next, really, get some antifreeze. We'll put the rad in, connect it up, fill the car with water. And then we'll see, take the plugs out and we'll see if we can get it to kind of turn over. But we have to make sure that we've sorted that immobiliser alarm system. There's the alarm there, which he didn't know, and he, bless him, he's really upset because he said, I should have told you that it had an alarm. And I was like, well, I didn't ask, foolishly. If that cuts the fuel system, but not the ignition, i.e. you still get a spark, I can bypass it with my can of hope. If it cuts the spark, then I'm not going to be able to do it without that battery and that key fob. So we will see. I think what I'll do first is I'll vacuum all this nonsense out the way, because I don't want it to go into the throat of the plenum or anything like that. Right, this is not my vacuum, this is Alan's. Just want to make sure that everybody knows that. They know how I feel about Dyson products. Let's get rid of these signs of rodents. These are, I mean, I don't even want to touch them with these gloves on.
That's okay, no worries.
You've definitely never used these.
No. And I have. It's been in the house. Just
and I know why.
Through.
I know why you've never used them, Alan. Because the car's never broken down because you've hardly ever used the damn car.
I'm very pleased to hear that they haven't been used, but yeah, but they need to be now.
Yeah, yeah, because you said you can't quite remember why you took the air filter, because the air filter
the air
should live in
box
there. This
goes
is
underneath there.
That's where the inlet is.
And I think it led from the battery leaked onto the battery tray. So I had to take the battery tray out, the battery out to clean and recoat the battery tray. Yeah. And that led to me taking the radiator out, because there was still some acid from the battery was down that side of the front. But you presumably drained all of the fluid, the coolant, out of the engine, because it sat for years. When you weren't around. Yeah. So actually that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So we can put the rad in, we can put coolant back in. Yep. But I think before we do that, what I'm going to do is disconnect, I think probably where the fuel filter is,
here. Disconnect the fuel supply before we attach the battery, before we hook up.
To see how the
Put the key
immobilizer's working.
Because
Yeah.
if it doesn't do anything, then we know. But I can take some plugs out and we can turn it over. And if it turns
Sure.
over and there's a
Sure.
spark, you know that we can bypass it with my can of fuel.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Of the
Yeah,
idea.
well, it's the next step, isn't it?
There's another reason why we need to get it running, so that it's not halfway in or out of the garage.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was fully out, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Alan's got this key, which it was on the key ring for the Capri. He wasn't sure what it was for. It turns out that, yeah, there we go.
So that's where it was. That was
where it was.
you would think on. So that should be off.
That should be off. There's a physical lock on that siren, and that activates it, which means it might turn off the immobilizer and the alarm, or did it just turn off the siren? I don't know.
We're hoping it's both.
We're really, really hoping it's both, because that would help us an immense amount today.
Definitely.
So now let's take the plugs out and then we'll put the battery in.
Do we need to do airbox?
I would put the airbox back in anyway.
Right.
I think because it's in good condition.
Yep.
Well, that's probably one of the hardest airboxes that I've ever had to fit. It's really wedged in this corner. Presumably this is a 2.8 injection specific situation because of that Bosch injection there. The complexity of that, otherwise it would just have a air filter on the top and stuff, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would indeed.
On a carb.
So what?
Bugger me, that's really wedged into here.
But what Johnny's trying to say is I shouldn't have taken it out.
Sort of. But you know, that's 2.5 decades of water under the bridge.
Yeah, it
So
sure
now
is.
that's on there, and we can access that if we need to. I think now we take the plugs out.
Right.
So they're all lubed. Let's put the battery in.
Central locking's clicking.
Has it got central locking?
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's clamp those on.
Yep.
And if you want to roll it in gear before we go for a turn, we could just nudge it forward in first.
Sure. Brilliant. Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's okay. That's definitely in
Good to me.
first.
Yep.
And I'll roll it back.
Oh, sorry, I touched the brake. Is it on the stops?
It is on the stops, yeah.
Yep.
So could you feel it turning?
Well, it must have been.
Yeah, must have been.
The car wouldn't have moved.
It means
yeah.
it's nice and smooth.
Wow. Wow.
See if you can get any dash lights. Right, wipe. Oh,
The wipers work.
wipers. Whoa. Well, that was as free as a bird.
There's no lights coming on.
No dash lights. Interesting. Let me see if I can see a spark. Can you
Okay.
do that again?
Tell me when you're ready.
Right, okay.
Go.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a big spark.
Oh, man.
Got big sparks. Do you want to do a quick sort of light check and stuff? Yes. That's side lights. Yeah, full beam. That's full beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Indicators. If you got the ignition on.
yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's left.
Hazard.
Hazards, yeah. It's all working, Alan.
Brilliant.
And we'll take it for an MOT tomorrow morning.
I hope.
That's amazing. So these old Fords, for those that don't remember, they had flat battery terminals. They were a bit annoying, different to all other cars. We couldn't get a flat terminal battery today, so I've clamped on the Ford terminals onto a battery I've brought. But they're really good clamps. Right, so it has a spark. I need to put the plugs back in.
Yep.
Because we know it turns and we know it sparks.
Yep.
I'm going to do a little jig of joy because, you know, I'll take each win as I can get it.
Oh, definitely.
And then I reckon I will connect the fuel system while maybe you start putting the rad in. Do you know what? While you're putting this rad in, I didn't ask you on camera before because about your brother's car thing, because your brother who contacted the Late Break Show and kind of put you up for this.
Yep. Good lad.
He's also into his cars.
He is indeed.
And he lives in America.
Yep.
You bought a car off him in America and shipped it back.
Yeah, a Dodge Stealth.
A Dodge Stealth.
Yeah. It's basically a Mitsubishi 3000 GTO.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's black, it's in storage. Again, a car that I've not used for some time, but again, it will be back.
And did your brother buy that new?
No, it's second hand. But yeah, it's 4-wheel drive, 4-wheel steer, great in the snow. Unbelievable.
Perfect Scottish winter car.
Perfect, absolutely.
Wow.
And with a bit of grunt. Boy, good man, well done.
So, quick recap time. You're probably wondering what the hell is going on. I've never worked on an injected Capri before. It's a busy engine bay. Took us a lot longer to fit these ancillaries that Alan took off 150 years ago.
Correct.
Like the rad and the fuel injection, air filter, the header tank, etc, etc. We've put all that on, but I'm now trying to tap into the fuel system because we know the fuel pump doesn't work. Thought I'd do it at the back there, but because it's such a blooming virginal, low mileage, unmolested car, it's got all the original banjo fittings and fuel lines, which are lovely, but it's not easy for me to tap into with my can of Hope because I don't have banjo fittings. I just have a straightforward pipe with a Jubilee clip. So trying to work out, I was going to tap into it at the tank end and it's not easy, so I've aborted that, and I'm going to try and tap in at this end where the little metering head is.
Yep.
We have to make sure that I put the feed and the return on the correct ones.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're doomed. You'll be pushing fuel in the wrong hole. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do what we've just done to that one there. Right, it's got all quite stressful and it's been complicated with this injection system. We've rigged this up. We are losing light and I really want to clean this car and get it out of the garage. So the can of Hope is hopefully going to work for us. Do you want to go for a turnover?
Yeah, sure, yeah. When you ready to go?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Well, there we go.
Again?
I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, go again. Well, that ran the longest it's ever run.
Yep.
I've switched over those connections because it's not clear in any of the literature, believe it or not. And I've even gone online and tried to see.
Yep.
which one is the inlet and which one is the outlet to that Bosch metering head, even though I've gone with my gut and there's a little arrow cast into it. It does get really frustrating because you want to just be able to succeed and you're trying to be as methodical as you can. I mean, I can try and spray fuel into its mouth and just see if that is a better option.
Ready?
Right, okay.
Good to go?
Yeah. Right, that's running off a can of flash with petrol in it until the trigger gave up completely. I am now officially out of options.
We've taken a massive step, and I think that's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
if I need to get a new top head for that,
You can send them away and you can have them reconditioned.
yeah,
The fuel pump's not expensive to replace that fuel pump.
no,
The condition of the fuel tank, from what I saw looking in through the neck of it, is unbelievable.
really surprising.
And the condition of the rubbers and all the ancillaries is unbelievable.
Yeah,
And that's before we've even got started. But I don't want to spend any more time trying to keep fired up because I really want to wash it.
definitely.
Because I know
definitely.
it's going to...
So yeah, we'll push it back as far as we can without it disappearing down the hill.
It just so happens that the hill that you live on is a tricky hill for a car that doesn't run.
Yeah. Be okay with that?
Yeah. Yeah. That's as far back.
I was going to put the handbrake on, but maybe I shouldn't.
Don't.
I'll put it in gear.
You can put it in gear, yeah. Yeah. So you can see the constraint we've got. Because we didn't get the car to consistently run, I don't want to lower it down onto the bottom of the drive because we can't then drive it back in, and this is too steep for us to push it back in. It's a very steep drive. It's beautiful, but it's very steep. And we want to put it back in Alan's garage when we've finished. So we're going to clean it here with the front still just in the garage, and I'll try and tactically wash it from the inside facing this way. I can't believe the condition of Alan's car. I mean, yes, it's a one owner car and it's done 15,000 miles. That's pretty mind-blowing. But the condition, especially now that we've just cleaned it, albeit right at the end of the day, it is like a new car. It's been so well preserved in there, it's just held on. It's beautiful. I mean, with like a weekend's worth of work, it would be concours winning, like you'd just gone to the dealership now and bought one. Yes, Ford have just released a new Capri. Is it going to have this kind of appeal? I'm pretty sure I know the answer to that in my heart. Anyway, what I want to say is a big thank you to Alan, a big thank you also to his brother Mike, who contacted the Late Break Show in the first place to let us know that he had this car tucked away. And if you know of a car that's tucked away in a car port, a barn, a garage, on a driveway, in a hedge that you think is of interest, get in touch with us. There's an email address below and you can give us all the details. I want to say also a big thank you to Nielsen for supporting the Barn Find playlist. Cheers.